Well, let's unpack this with political analyst Dr. Ntsikelelo Breakfast joining us now. In fact, it is Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast joining us now via video link. Prof, good evening to you. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I mean, just your initial reaction when you started to see Floyd Shivambu in Malawi visiting Shepherd Bushiri's church. Your first reaction?
Well, I was taken aback, to be honest. I mean, I didn't see that coming. I mean, of all people, you don't expect a person like Floyd to do something like that, given the fact that he is the leader of one of the largest political parties. So for him to be associated with someone who is on the run, who has broken South African laws, who left the country under very dubious circumstances. But I get the sense that there must have been a deal that was struck between the two of them, like a gentleman's agreement, you know, because I think there's something that he stood to benefit out of this. I mean, he would never risk his political career. And the worst part of it is the fact that his own political party has taken a swipe at him because it doesn't want to have anything to do with what has happened. So I think it's a blow, but also it gives an impression that those that are very critical of him within Umkhonto weSizwe will use this as a golden opportunity to, you know, take a swipe at him and maybe advance the argument that he's not fit and proper to be elected officially to hold the position that he holds at the moment. So I think it's a setback, but also the party also, I think, is duty bound to cool off some of its members who might want to know what's going on. Because I also thought that he was on a mission acting on behalf of the party.
Because and then there's the question, you say perhaps a deal might have been struck, but what would be the benefit of doing this for the MK party SG?
Well, as a stand, I mean, it's quite clear the cat is out of the bag, that he acted in his own private capacity.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, I don't want to deduce too much from this, but it might have happened that there was an economic exchange. I don't know, but whatever deal that was struck between them, I can bet my bottom dollar that it must have been a win-win situation for them, not for the country. But by so doing, you give the impression that you are downplaying the centrality of the rule of law. And by so doing, you are elevating someone who is on the wrong.
I want to look at the MK party. So the party responds by saying the party wishes to make it unequivocally clear that this visit was not sanctioned, endorsed or initiated by the leadership or any official structure of the MK party. So, I mean, we've seen the reaction. Obviously, the MK party saying this is not by our instruction. But what does this mean then for Floyd Shivambu's future within the party? Is that in question, considering that there has been some tug of war with between the SG and some of the leadership within the party?
Well, I think, I mean, he is playing into the hands of his critics within the party. I mean, there have been people who have been arguing that he is at fault in terms of some of the setbacks of the party administratively, in terms of how the party does things, that, you know, he doesn't understand the ins and outs of running a party of this nature. So now, by doing something of this nature, you are consolidating that propaganda against you. So I think it was unwise. I mean, I never thought of all people, someone like him, who is very intellectually grounded, would fall for this.
Yeah, can he save face within the party?
I beg your pardon?
Can he save face within the party?
Yes, look, I mean, I think it's not the end of the world, even though it is a blow. I think he can still bounce back with the bang if he behaves but you see, you know, when the odds are against you, you need to be very circumspect. You need to cover your back and not give your political opponents an ammunition to always take a swipe at you. But I think what he did was a feeder system to a propaganda machinery campaign against him. which is quite unfortunate. But I think he can still bounce back with the bank. But he needs to be very strategic how he maneuvers in order to outmaneuver those who are vehemently opposed to him.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, for instance, the Justice Minister coming out and saying that his actions erode public trust in the justice system and embolden those who believe that they can escape accountability. The sort of message that he's sending then even to a country like Malawi.
Well, it's a wrong message that you can get away with murder. And I think the Department of Justice, I think they won the application, so now the guy can be brought down to South Africa to face the music. So, I mean, he should never have gone there, regardless whether he was going there on behalf of MK or on behalf of himself. I think it was just unwise, in my view.
Right, Professor Ntsikelelo Breakfast today is, of course, a political analyst giving us his view. Thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it.